correctly?
Which says we're live.
That's good. I'm on YouTube. I bet we're live. I'm gonna act like we are.
Ish. We are live.
All right, excellent. We'll set up to talk about things tonight. So what were you reading?
So
Right
Tim
before
Tim
we started?
1.0 came out today.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about it a little bit in my week because I did put some time into it.
right.
But in reading it, I found that the console wars are still going strong.
Yeah.
There were comments that were like, so you could make this game for the Switch, but not for Xbox? And I have two quick things to add about that. The first is those two things are not the same. The second is they did make an Xbox version.
Oh. Well then. My goodness.
It's just
Someone looks so foolish.
I thought finally we'd be done with, the console wars. But
Never. Never. That's a hill to die on.
I just don't understand, hey, look, we're in a world where money is scarce for most people, right? Except for a very small percentage of people that have most of the money. It's scarce for most people, but even those people normally have at least a console or a PC. And I would say not a small number of that has both, right? They don't have all the consoles, but they have a PC and a console.
Yeah.
At that point, it doesn't matter anymore, man.
Because the people that have all the money don't have enough of all the money for them.
Well, that's very true. That's very true.
They don't want the other people with all the money to get any more than them.
Yeah. I just like the mindset of, hey, it's 2022 and I'm going to be mad that my game is going on another platform because it should only be on my platform. Like, what?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're still exclusives.
Yeah.
They're still exclusives, and it's kind of weird because that's all like the businesses of it, right? The whole business side of it. Well, we got to do what's best for our company, which I guess they do.
Yeah,
but it gets really it does get messy.
Still,
and there's okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think. They wasn't. I know they're still exclusives.
Right. God of War is about to be exclusive for a little while, and then it'll come to PC as well.
Yeah.
Horizon was exclusive for a little while, and then it's come to PC. Switch still has a lot of exclusives.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole thing about the console wars, right?
Yeah.
You get, it's like it goes to the PlayStation, not the Xbox. It goes to the Xbox, not the Switch. It goes to that. And then the PC gamers over there like, hey, I got a PC, and like nobody cares.
Right. Do you remember when Call of Duty had maps come early to PS4 instead of Xbox One? The maps were still going to come to Xbox One, but it was like 2 weeks that you got to play them only on PlayStation.
The inhumanity of it all.
It's just like people lost their minds.
No. Gosh.
I don't understand this mindset of, you'd make a game for the Switch, but not for the Xbox. First off, bro, look at the Xbox. It's on the Xbox. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And then, so what if they want to put their game on Switch? It's their choice.
Man, I'm still trying to run over titles that are exclusive. Is Metal Gear?
Metal Gear has a weird exclusivity. So Metal Gear,
there's stuff like that where it yes and no.
Right, because Metal Gear the originals were on MSX, and then Metal Gear Solid came out on PlayStation, and then Metal Gear Solid 2 came out on PlayStation, but then Metal Gear Solid specifically was on PS1. Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and both of those were on PS2, but then they came out with a GameCube version of Metal Gear Solid 1 for Nintendo.
Well, because Metal Gear started on the Nintendo,
Right.
on the cartridge Nintendo. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the first Metal Gear.
And so then the GameCube version of Metal Gear Solid 1 called Twin Snakes was a vastly like anime version of Metal Gear Solid where Snake was jumping off of missiles being fired into the air.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And then it went back to PlayStation for portable ops that we in the community effectively and very, naturally call poops. And then it was on PS3 with Metal Gear Solid 4, but then Metal Gear Solid 5 was multiplat. It came out on everything at the time.
Yeah.
Quack. So
Very nice.
Metal Gear's a weird franchise for that. And then Revengeance was multiplat.
Revengeance.
I love Revengeance so much.
The name just sounds like a bad 80s movie action flick. You know?
Have you ever played Revengeance out of curiosity?
No.
Okay, so what makes Revengeance special is, you know how much we love Blood Dragon?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They knew what they were making and they did it and they had a blast.
Oh, okay.
Revengeance has a robot dog with a chainsaw tail that when you fight him says something like, "If only you were my master." And then after you beat him, you take him back home.
Okay. Yeah. Just can't let a dog like that go to waste. What do you mean, man?
One of the big villains is a guy named Jetstream Sam, who is like very much flamenco samurai.
Okay.
And does the whole like, "Oh, so you will be the one fighting me," and then he's incredible. Look, I could just talk about Revengeance all night long. We should probably start the podcast.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Yeah. Go for it, man.
All right, let me get this changed over here. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight, like we always do. We have some news. I mean, we have the big one, I guess, that a lot of people are upset about. And the best part is, looking at the docket, you can't tell which one I'm talking about. There's a couple big ones in there.
All right.
But no, I'm very excited for tonight's show. I think we're gonna have a fun time. But as we always do, let's start off with weeks.
Right.
How's your week been?
All right. Been pretty good. I'm in a little bit of shock. The song I put out that came out Sunday is like doing like really well.
Nice.
Which I say really well, and it's not like huge numbers or nothing. But I went over 400 views.
Nice.
That just kind of it's kind of got me thrown off a little bit.
Heck yeah.
I'm about done with my Skyrim experiment.
Yeah.
I want to get a wizard or play caster, get a magic user up until it busts out, and I think I'll be done with that pretty soon. And that's just like I'm ready to go to bed. I need to lay down a little bit before I'll play that for a little bit.
I understand. I played some Skyrim this week as well, and I could do a little behind the scenes on a video because I was trying to record a Make It Right for Skyrim.
Okay.
Because as you know, it's one of the games that everyone loves that I bounced off of pretty hard. Even though I put like 60 hours into it, I still bounced off. So I modded the heck out of it and intended to do a like fun playthrough, just, immersing myself in the world with all these crazy mods. Found out in the first major dungeon, I guess you could say, that I was modded myself to play as Jonathan Joestar from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, who apparently is immortal in that game. So I had to restart, and that time I started with a Space Marine from Warhammer 40k, who is also immortal, but can still take damage. So I guess he's not immortal. He just heals
Okay.
on his own.
All right.
But he can still take damage. He can still die. So I'm gonna have to start over again.
All right.
But there's chocobos running around, so that's cool.
Oh man, mod's so weird.
Yep.
Yeah. So because of that, blowing a lot of stuff up through Skyrim. So I think
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good with that. Um, a bunch of different ways you can play it. I need to play something else. I need to
Yeah.
get something else for a while and go through it. I did watch Gundam again. The
Yeah.
second disc, which is episode 6 through 10, I think.
Yeah.
I think I said it. 6 through 10, 7 through 11, 6 through 10, right? 6 through 10, yes.
Hmm.
Of Zeta Gundam. What's that? Zeta Gundam. I don't know, I think so, yeah. Go through that. And I still don't like Camille.
Yeah.
Double check, give him a second chance. But there's some of the scenes I really like how they do the setup.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Captain Bright takes over the ship, here's your new captain.
Spoiler
He's
is up, so spoil away.
okay. So as soon as he's captain, he's put in a position where he's got to decide, hey, they get attacked during an invasion
Right.
with Earth, and easy call. It's like he has to make the call. No, you stay in formation. That has to hold.
Right.
Going through that, now, he's just already put in a tough situation. The
Hey, Dark.
I don't. Hey, Dark, what's going on? The I just rewatched 6 through 10. So
Mhm.
Thursday we'll start 11. Probably try to watch 11 and episode 11 and 12
Yep.
of that. Which I don't know. What's that? Yes. So there's how many got? Oh, we still got a good ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I might get to like Camille a little bit
I
more.
have the second set right here, just waiting.
Going through that. They I think it does a good. I think rewatching it, I think it does. I think it gives it a better chance. I give it. I feel better about the bringing everybody together
Yeah.
because in a way it kind of felt forced, but at I don't know, maybe because of how often I had to rewatch it
Hmm.
and look at it, it does feel better. It does seem to flow better through that.
Yeah.
The we haven't had we haven't had the big scene yet. They've it doesn't seem like right.
Yeah.
You've got everybody there now.
Mm-hmm.
Or just about everybody there. Um, getting set up, and soon Amaro's going to come back. That's my prediction. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Something's going to click in Amaro
Okay.
uh, before the season ends, and then we're going to get the big scene with like these, these next type, uh, or new types
Yeah.
doing their thing. Lieutenant Quattro and Camille, and I think Amaro's really going to show up again
Okay.
and be Amaro, right? Because Amaro seems to shake Lieutenant Quattro a little bit.
Right.
The seems to shake him a little bit. And I don't. There's not another new type out there that I've seen do that to him.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to pay that off.
Okay.
Sense.
As usual,
But
I will spoil nothing, and hopefully chat will spoil nothing.
appreciate it.
But we're
Appreciate
we're in a really cool set of episodes, in my opinion, where and I do have a question to ask you, as I always do when we cover these. But how do you feel about bringing back in the protagonist from the first series?
Well, it makes sense timeline wise because
Mhm.
it's just 10 years later
Right.
and they've got everybody up. And I think this story, as they're trying to tell it, needs it. Unless they're gonna go way off. If
Right.
you go way off time, don't worry about it,
Yeah.
but you need these connections, and I think what Zeta's doing is really building. Now we know the new types.
Yeah.
You can see the separation clearer on who's against who.
Right.
Uh, and so, mm,
It's an interesting series. I love that introduction, that moment of, hey, here's the character that you remember from the first Gundam, and he is not doing what you want him to be doing, right? He is sitting in a house on Earth, and you're like, that's not what I want Amuro to be doing, man. Come on.
well, I think it gives something to the power of. And I think this is the fans' fault. It's a good thing
Right.
that I think that Char was a popular character
Right.
that really I think that's what this also brings about too is they want to get these characters on the same side.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a new one. We're going to keep expanding.
Mhm.
These mobile armors and mobile suits are going to get bigger and fancier.
Yeah.
Here, I am kind of surprised that there hasn't been more. Like we got that big cannon one time
Yeah.
that showed up. I'm surprised there hasn't been more of that yet, but that may be coming too. That may
There
be
are
coming.
so many ramifications of what you've already seen in Zeta Gundam and what is
Yeah.
coming in Zeta Gundam that like shake the foundation of the series to come. And it's crazy to me because when people say they love Zeta Gundam, most of the time, like me, I'm one of them. It's, hey, there's this moment that is great, There's this moment that is incredible, and that's what makes me love Zeta. But now going back and watching it, I'm going, man, Zeta has some weird choices in storytelling, but I love watching it. Every second that it's on, I'm having a great time.
I think so far, except
Truly.
for right. I think in the first season and the first series, the old OG Gundam,
Hmm.
you have that dip, right?
Yeah.
There's some silly stuff in the story, but it's pretty consistent, and then you have a dip.
Right.
And I think the storytelling overall is better in the first one
Right.
so far.
Right.
So far. Also, I think it goes into maybe like a lot of the influences that you could see in there.
Right.
And this is a much more of like trying to be much more original. But in Zeta, like I said, with the scene with Bright,
Yeah.
having to make that decision right after he becomes captain, that's better. It's better storytelling.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. The story's better for me in the first one, and maybe Zeta will take over that. What are we making Trey
That's a
White
good
now?
question.
Oh,
We've got a lot of
oh,
Gundam series to go to, but that is a good point. That after that, it is your turn to fire it back at me.
okay. I'll find something. Well, see, also I'm kind of blessed, right? Because if I have any questions about Gundam, I have
That's
got
true.
contacts.
That's true.
I have got contacts. So I'm trying to take it if I get something wrong, I know I'm going to be corrected.
Right.
So
One last thing I want to ask you is where we're at in Zeta, there is something that is kind of just like casually mentioned, and I'm not going to say if it winds up coming up more or not, but I just want to get your thoughts on the feeling of the moment when they just went, oh yeah, that guy's from the Jupiter fleet.
yeah, that was that I wondered about that because I wonder if that's a setup for another faction. Because you've got the better mobile armor coming from Jupiter.
Right.
It brings it down to bring that show off, and you can tell there's tension right there in that scene. Just
Right.
that line, maybe it's a throwaway line, but you can tell there's tension in that scene between, hey, he's not one of us.
Yeah.
We're working together. So it's like adding another faction.
Yeah. I think Zeta does a lot of its storytelling in throwaway lines, and I think that is something that a lot of people don't like about it. They would rather it be more direct, But I think that Sailor Moon, I like Sailor Moon personally. But I think that in a lot of ways, it means you can have little moments of storytelling, like with Kai in these episodes, where he doesn't get to
Yeah.
outright say how he feels a lot, but you get little moments of him being like,
Yeah. That and I think Kai seems to be the most changed.
yeah,
You know, over those 10 years, like going back to the. But that's something about, except maybe even for Bright, but that's something about all the ones that they bring back, all the characters they bring back.
yeah,
They let you know that they were missing something.
right,
You know, you don't. We all know Kai could have retired.
right,
If he didn't have to do anything.
right.
You know that because of the way people talk about, "Oh, you were on the
The
white
white
base?
base.
Hey,
Yep.
no problem." They're gonna be able to like, "Oh, Captain Bright's up there? Yeah, they're gonna be able to, oh, that's his wife? Yeah, she'll be you know?
Yeah.
They're they were on the white base." And he didn't,
Right.
you know?
When
He
I first saw him, I thought for sure, like when I first watched Zeta, I thought for sure we were going to see Kai Cheetah in like the lap of luxury with like
Yes, he
women all
was.
around him and drinking on a beach or something. Like, yeah, no, that's not. Kai grew up. Now he's trying to
Yeah.
uncover corruption and he's putting himself in the line of fire. You know,
Yeah.
or
They,
something very different.
yes, it was. The,
Wait, you mean they're not cousins and they love each other?
well, they'd still be cousins. Like like,
What do you mean
I don't
that
know.
character's a guy?
I yeah, there, right there, yeah. The, I'm looking forward to. It feels like when I got to the end of this disc, when everybody's there, Amuro's there, Lieutenant Quattro, you got Bright,
Yeah.
everybody's going after Jaburo,
Yep.
the fight of Jaburo, they're all together. It feels like, okay, now this series is gonna really start.
Yeah.
And it feels like the first 10 episodes were all to get to this point.
Right.
So
Prologue, as it were.
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We will see.
All right, I'm
But
excited for you to
and then
see
we
what's
played
coming.
chickens on
Yep.
MMO Monday.
Yep.
Did.
Because that's fine. That is true. That is true.
See? My statement is valid.
It's not legal to marry your siblings, and yet that happens so much in anime. Hmm. Yeah, we played chickens. We did some chicken runs. We had a raid midstream. Had a bunch of people come hang out with us. Had people in game wanting to run chickens with us. So
Yeah. See? Verified.
so it was a really good time.
Yeah. Enjoyed running around. I did. But I've got a song working on. I'm getting tight on schedule for getting songs out.
Yeah.
Still okay at the moment, but I gotta get this song done. Try to get something done this week.
Yeah.
Try to make sure I stay ahead on that. But that's what's been going on in my week. How has your week been, Crayfish?
It's been busy, but also just like chipping away at a bunch of stuff. Like I haven't made steady progress on anything, but I've made a bunch of little progress on a bunch of different projects.
Fair enough.
I've been playing Guild Wars 2 still, working my way through the story for Living World Season 2. No, sorry, Season 3. I'm slowly chipping away at that. Every time I get to a new area, I'm finishing the area completely, doing everything in the area, because that's part of the review. What I talk about in the review is the areas that come with that, I'm going to get there. Part of that today was, hey, I'm going to work on the story. I'm going to finish this area. I got this area done. I have just one more mission to be done with this area in the story. So now I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to go back to working on this legendary weapon. Oh, Hydrate did come through. Thank you.
All right.
And so I spent a bunch of time trying to get legendary weapon stuff done. Was only semi-successful there. But, continuing to make little bits of progress here and there. And eventually there'll be like 5 videos that all come out. You say, well, Trey, why aren't you just hammering down on one? Because, look, it takes a long time to get those legendary weapons done, and it takes a lot of materials, some of which you can only get once a day. Like, it takes a little bit. So I'll get there. But, no, I'm excited. I'm still really loving that game. And it just continues to get more and more fun with the further I get into the story. And then
Nice.
been playing a little bit more SD Gundam Battle Alliance. I am firmly through tier 5, into tier 5, and almost done with it. Been just a lot of grinding, man. I've been just grinding a lot. Trying to get enough currency to be able to get through.
So you're on. You don't know exactly how much further you have to go, right?
Right.
Through that, and this is on normal grind through. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we're in the same spot here then.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not looking up guides on how far I gotta go. I do know what the level cap has moved up to, which is 90, and I am at level 27, I think 28, right, almost at 30. I'm like right under 30.
Oh my gosh.
But I've been leveling up the Freedom and the Exia still. I have not changed off of those two. You've seen people at 100, so they must have raised the level cap from 90 to 100 then. But I still love the little details in this game. The maps are so well done. Like, when I'm in those maps, I'm like, I am in this area from the show. I am here. It's so cool running around those maps. And some of them have, like, secret objectives where, like, there's a map in the mountains with sniper suits. So, like, you get sniped at by Zaku snipers. And you have to, like, get behind cover and then come back out and shoot them. Because you can't jump up to where they are, so you have to take them down that way. And then when you kill that sniper, it spawns a chest somewhere on the map, and you have to go get that chest, And it's just cool stuff like that. The Gundam fight level that you get into where, hey, as you go through here, you could just go straight for the objective and fight like 2 guys, or you could go hit all the fingers on the palm of the level and get all the different fights there. And there's so much love and care put into that. The character writing is so good and gameplay is so fun until I have to grind forever to level up to be able to kill the hash mall.
So where you are, this isn't a spoiler because you got some advice about I think you got if you play through again.
Right, on hard mode.
Yeah, playing through again on hard mode.
You get infinitely more capital, is what I was informed.
So, given time, so you had your way, is it worth you at this point? Is it worth you're going to play through again on hard?
I think so. Just because that's fair, Dark. Just because I want to try the other suits. That's my biggest complaint right now. Is I have to grind just to be able to level what I'm working with because I'm using 2. And you can say, well,
so
just
right. Suits.
Yeah, you can say just use 1. Just use the Freedom. But there are suits that are resistant to beam attacks.
I believe.
And so I need the Exia. So just to do that, I'm having to grind so much to be able to clear through with just those 2. I have so many suits I want to play with. I have so many, and Dark's doing the same. Dark has the same problem. All the suits are at least level 15. All the suits, because like, I want to play with all the suits. So I think yes, I will do a hard mode playthrough because if I get that much currency, as Will told us on the stream yesterday, then I don't really see an issue with playing through again because then I can play through with the other suits I want to play with.
Versus X, yeah.
I don't blame you.
That's kind of when you explain it, it kind of feels like how it levels up is almost not exactly, but kind of feels like the old Dynasty
Yeah,
Warrior
yeah,
thing. 'Cause you didn't want to pick just one side and play through
right. Because you
all
leveled
them.
up all the enemies as well.
Yeah, because you get to play through the other ones.
I actually think Dynasty Warriors is a great way to explain it too, because you run into this problem with Dynasty Warriors as well. And Dynasty Warriors has a way around it that I wish SD Gundam had. Where in Dynasty Warriors, let's say you're playing Wei, right? And you get your first level, you have Cao Cao, you have Zhao Hao Yuan, and you have Zhao Hao Dun. Second level, hey, you just unlocked, let's say you just unlocked Zheng Liang, or you just unlocked, I just completely forgot his name, with the axe, he's bald, the guy that defends Cao Cao with his life. It just completely slipped my mind. This is what I get for trying to name characters mid-podcast.
Yeah.
But let's say you get Zushu, right? And you have Zhangliang and you have Zushu, and you're all excited. And then you realize, hey, my Zhao Hao Dun and my Zhao Hao Yuan are level 3, my Cao Cao's level 5. But these guys, Dian Wei, that's his name. These guys are all level 1. Well, I don't want to use them at level 1. So what if I put them in the training area and they get ad time? Well,
Where are you at, Nightbot?
right? You didn't,
where
you
are
didn't
you
warn
at?
us. There he is. Come on, Nightbot. Come on.
Come on, man.
Well, anyway, yeah, it was Dian Wei. I can't believe that I forgot Dian Wei's name. I'm so sorry, Dian Wei. But no, let's say I want to use Dian Wei, so I put him in the training mode, and I pay a little bit of currency, just a little, it's not that much, and I bring him up to level 5. Because that's my highest level character.
Yeah.
And so then I can play as Dian Wei in this new level. And I think if SD Gundam had that, where it's like, hey, I could pay a little bit of currency to just level them real quick, and then use them, as compared to spending a bunch of currency to bring them up there, and then maybe I don't like their moveset. But yeah, that's other than that. And then Dark asked, was I able to beat the boss battle directory 3 when you go back to it from 4? I was able to do so, but only on my freedom.
Yeah. See, I think you got to support her with that idea.
Yeah. Just let me try them all. Let me be able to level them all reasonably. I don't need them all to be as high as my highest level. It can get more expensive getting closer, but let me have like a discount to level the in between, you know?
Yeah.
So that I can play around with more suits, because I want to try.
Oh.
But
frustrating.
That's where I'm at on that right now. It's more of just like slamming my head against the grind right now, trying to get it, which honestly it's killing my desire to play. But I also know once I get through that grind, then I'll be playing it a lot more. So tough call.
Okay.
But I also played some Temtem today.
All right.
And expect that video tomorrow, because Temtem has just had its 1.0 release. I want to talk about reviews tonight, but there's not enough, so, you know. But, yeah, I played some more Temtem, and, man, that game is still Temtem. It's been in development for 2 years. It's been in early access for 2 years, and over the course of that 2 years, they polished up animations, they made stuff a little more fluid, but I just don't know if it's for me. Like,
okay.
So you know how in monster collecting games, you have the ability to switch monsters, right? So like in Pokemon, you can switch Pokemon mid-battle. In Digimon, you can switch between your party members in Digimon Story. In Temtem, it's a whole animation every time, and then you throw out the new one, and you throw it up in the sky, and it spins in the sky, and then it comes out. And if you switch both of them on the same turn, it doesn't do like okay, red light, and here's the new one. It doesn't do like a, hey, light comes up, light goes down. It's that same animation again. It doesn't do the animation for both at the same time. It's animation. And
This reminds me of playing, like, early Final Fantasies.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
feels
so
like that.
I've gotta summon again.
Yeah, yeah,
Summon, put the controller down, stretch my fingers.
right. And
Oh,
I don't think it's a bad game per se because the monster collecting side of it's still really solid. I like collecting those monsters and I want to see them evolve and get cool, but the animations are so long. And so one of the biggest problems that I think Pokemon has is when you get into a double battle, the fights take forever because it effectively doubles the length of the battle, right? You have two different
yeah.
Pokemon on both sides that can attack two different targets. So you have all of that time as targets are selected and moves are used. But in Temtem, every fight is a double battle. And because Temtem animations are already longer than Pokemon animations, it means that every fight feels like it takes forever. And then you add that into the fact that enemies that are lower level than you still do a lot of damage. Like, the level disparity does not mean that much when it comes to damage done. Your defense does not go up that much when you level. And so I'm still in the early zones because I dropped it hard when it first came out. I'm still in the
Alright.
early zones, and I'm having to run all the way back to heal after every fight, basically.
Oh, man.
And as if that wasn't bad enough, I could buy healing items, right? I bought
Yeah.
5 healing items, and it took half of my money to buy the healing items. I also need that money to buy the thing to capture Tim's. So, I mean, I'd rather just manually run back and heal and use that money to capture new monsters.
Grind, run,
So,
run,
man, I
run.
don't know. It's a weird game. I will play more of it because I want to do like a full video on it. Now that it's finally out, that's what I've been waiting on. You know, because I love monster collecting games are my second favorite genre. I love those. You know. You can, but you can only test them against enemies that like run away from you. You can't test them against like boss enemies or enemies that actually want to like fight you, and that part is kind of annoying. Give me like a free battle where I can spawn in a bunch of enemies and attack them. But you absolutely can, and I did that before I upgraded the Freedom and chose it as my main suit. That's how I showed off the early unlock suits too. I don't know, man. Temtem, it's a weird game. Like I said, I'm gonna play more, and you'll hear more about it in the coming weeks, I'm sure. But,
Alright. Alright.
and then I played one more game I want to talk about real quick before we
Fair
move
enough.
on,
What you got?
and that's Rungor.
That's really close.
Yeah, it is. It's really close. That's why I thought you might get a kick out of the name. Specifically, I played the beginner experience for Rungor. The devs sent me a key to play the beginner experience version. The full version will be coming in 2023. Don't know pricing or anything like that yet. It is a roguelike card game where you auto attack and you play the cards. It has a pretty interesting sense of humor, and I think that where it shines is, hey, there's only 3 heroes in that, and I only unlocked 2, but you have to strategize quite a bit, and if you try to rush it like I do most things in this life, it's bad. It's a bad time for you. But I never had a moment where I was like, man, this is unfair. I always was having a lot of fun with it. I don't want to in this weird spot where I don't want to touch it again until the full game comes out because I don't want to burn
Yeah,
out
I
on it,
understand.
you know. But
Yeah,
it's a
I know
really
how you feel.
interesting game. The video went up today for anybody that wants to check the game out, but it is a very interesting game. At least you can see the moveset. You can. That's true. You can at least see the moveset that way. But you know what you can do
Right.
in Dynasty Warriors is you can put that character in a training mode where you can play with their full moveset even when they're fully upgraded, even though they're still level 1, and you get to see all the stuff they can do while fighting a large horde of enemies. Saying
Yeah.
that's examples right there. You could copy it. And then, you know, just because I could talk about it right now, and I love talking about it because I'm looking at them. We've been painting models and building Gunpla on Fridays, and this guy looks sick, man. I've been looking at him all week.
I'm glad you're happy.
I'm so happy with how these guys are turning out. They look so good. So
You don't have much more to do. 2 more to do?
yeah, just 2 more to go, and then the intercessors team will be done. We get the sergeant left. Yeah, that's what he looks like before he's painted. These guys, and we got the grenadier left, and then they'll go with my assault boys. But this Friday we're gonna be working on the Barbados 6th form, which for anybody that hasn't been watching,
Needs legs.
this is where we're at right now. Our boy needs some legs.
Yes.
But one of the legs is done. So hopefully we'll finish him Friday.
We shall see.
And that's pretty much been my week. Zakutu F2 needs its head put together, but that's it. Nice.
Excellent. There should be 2 finished this week then.
Yeah. 3 different tops for the head. Don't know which one to go with. You gotta go with the commander horn. Gotta go with that commander horn for sure. And for Shin Matsunaga. And for Johnny Ridden. And for Volgato. Those 3 names, I love that of those 3 names I just said, you're never going to learn about 2 of them, and one of them you're going to learn about, but not in context of Azaku.
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's great. I just realized that. Okay.
Where'd you go? Okay. You disappeared for a second, sir.
I went to grab the axe.
No.
F2, so it's an Earthfender. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Commander Horn always looks great. Total capital for upgrading is always shown. All right, well, you gotta give your numbers here. We have some reviews.
All right.
All right. First up, we have a Lego game.
All right.
Called Lego Brawls.
Yeah, I was wondering, this is what happens when there's not enough Lego to go around.
Armored plates. Ooh, you'll have to send a picture of that. Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. This game kind of came out without any real fanfare. And you would expect it probably to be marketed pretty well when I tell you that it is basically their answer to Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
However,
excellent.
I need to warn you that it is not their version of Smash Brothers, as in it's all the big famous Lego characters together. It is their version of Smash Brothers in that it is all the popular Lego stages, and then you make your own Smasher, your own Brawler, sorry.
Okay. Well, that might be... Okay.
Out of Legos. So
that might be kind of cool.
The Lego figures, you know.
Yeah. That might be kind of cool. I can't imagine what the licensing would be. They had...
Yeah. Here's Darth Vader and
yeah.
the Hulk.
Batman.
So, what do you think? I'm going to put the ice cream up. What do you think, chat, is...
I'm going 76.
76?
Yeah. Almost 76. Let's see if we'll get some scores in. Going through that.
Got an 82?
Got an 82. At that.
77? The answer is 47.
Wow. That's not a good sign.
Let me read a couple of reviews for you here.
Yeah, okay.
Mondo Xbox says Lego Brawls may have more content than substance, but it succeeds in the intent of creating an accessible and fun competitive party game, and the incredible amount of characters, weapons, and customizations to be unlocked make a title worth playing for months to come, as long as you're not looking for deeper, more technical gameplay.
Okay. Which really I'm not out of a Lego game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay.
Nintendo Life says, beyond the ability to collect minifigs and customize your character, something that does nothing to really change up the actual battling at the heart of it all, there's very, very little here to sink your teeth into. It all ends up feeling like a rather poor free-to-play mobile game, and one that doesn't perform very well on Nintendo's hardware.
Wow.
I got one more
That
for you.
I realize it's hard to balance fighters, but just having them all the same is not the
Yep.
way to do it.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
that's what they wanted to do with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I don't know if you remember that whole deal or not with the second one they were going to make. They said that they weren't characters, they were just movesets. And that if they just had them trimmed down to be the purest moveset, then they could put whatever character they wanted in the game.
That's not right.
No, it's not right.
No.
This last review here is from GameSpew, who says, as fans of Lego Brawls should have been the brawling game of our dreams. But unfortunately, it's nothing but a massive disappointment. Collecting minifigs is fun, and creating your characters even more so. The actual gameplay, however, is monotonous, repetitive, and ultimately devoid of any real depth. Lego Brawls is impossible to recommend, then, even to the most ardent Lego fan.
Oh, man.
Now I ask you, Rundgren and the chat, what do you think recommended score is for Lego Brawl?
Like 33?
Okay.
I'm going 33. You got a 28. I'm sure. Look at him. 30. Yeah. Yeah.
It is an unprecedented 0%.
Wow.
Just in case you thought you heard me wrong, it is 0%.
I don't care what scale, out of whatever it is, that's bad.
We have never had a 0 on this channel before.
That's a bummer. That's really disappointing. Oi.
I came to laugh at you.
No. All right, then. Well.
That was the perfect timing for that. I came to laugh at you, followed by an oof. Yeah, so that's now happened in the history of this channel. We have a 0.
That's not at all what I wanted to hear.
But yeah, maybe don't buy Lego Brawl.
Ah. Wow.
Next up,
all right.
probably won't be a 0. I won't tell you the score now, but probably won't be a 0. Next up, Last of Us Part 1. Now, this is the remake of the remaster of Last of Us. The scores for Lego Brawls, it was very small.
Go for it.
Sorry, it was 47 and 0.
Yes. They're not good.
But Last of Us
Right.
Part 1, a re-release, yes, it was a 0. Unprecedented on this channel. A 0.
That was, yes, a recommended score.
This is a weird game to talk about reviews for. And I want to say it's one of the funniest memes I've seen in a long time. Angry Joe re-uploaded his Last of Us Remastered review and just changed the thumbnail to say Last of Us remastered. And didn't change anything in that review, just re-uploaded it.
Well, is this...
But there have been changes.
This is like... Man, is this Neil Drunkman at the Todd Howard School of Gaming? Is that what's going on?
So there have been changes, and whether those changes are good or bad depends entirely on how you feel about the holy grail of that first game, you know? So it's a weird place that this game puts us in, where we have brand new reviews that are a mix of, hey, I loved the first one, so I'm going to talk about the story, instead of, hey, I'm going to talk about this version.
Okay.
And also, because some people never played it before.
Kind of cheap. That seems kind of cheap.
I agree. Some people never played it before, so for them, this is their first time reviewing it. But at the same time, when this version came out, the previous version, the remastered version for PS4, was unlisted or delisted on PSN, even though you could play the remastered version from PS4 on PS5 with up-res textures. Now you can't buy that version because you have to buy this more expensive version if you want to play it on PS5.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about that IGN France review. So
Yeah.
what it comes down to is it was very hard for me to find reviews for this one, right?
Yeah.
So bear with me if a couple of these are weird, but now that you have the rough consensus on, there are people that reviewed it for this version of the game, there are people that reviewed it as if they'd never reviewed the game before, there were people that reviewed it even though they reviewed the previous games, but reviewed it still as if they were reviewing the game as if they never played it before. What do you think the score is for Last of Us Part 1?
Oh. Man, I don't want to dog on this game, but nobody's ever played it before. I think it'd be kind of, I don't know. That's later. 82.
Okay.
I want it to be up there. I want it to be up there. 78, 70. Those probably might be closer. I'll do that.
The score is 88.
Oh, right at last. Oh, Dark was close.
Very close. Very
Mhm.
close. Very close.
Where'd it go? Did you lose your reviews? Huh?
I lost my...
No.
Okay, I found them. I lost my
excellent.
blurbs for a second there. Like everyone who's playing this likes the original. That's the thing, right? Like, it's, how do you review this? And my answer is you review this on the differences. You review this on, what has changed. You review it on the technical aspect, not as much the graphics, because of course it's going to look better. And you don't really review it on the story other than saying, hey, here's a blurb about the story, but it's unchanged no matter which version of the game you play, because there are 3 versions of this game that have the exact same story, Yeah.
That's fair. And I mean, yeah. I think that's fair.
So because of how weird this is, I have 2 blurbs from Metacritic and 3 blurbs from OpenCritic.
Okay.
I want to read to you first the now infamous across the internet IGN France review on Metacritic.
Okay.
Because it is reviewed by a different person on OpenCritic, which I find fascinating. It is an entirely different discussion. Their blurb on Metacritic is, if we were to judge Part 1 only as a remake, which isn't bringing anything gameplay or story-wise, though it is, it's bringing accessibility features, apparently that doesn't matter, the score would be 70. But at the end of the day, the Naughty Dog masterpiece is getting its best version yet, so it couldn't be anything else than a perfect 10.
Oy, man.
What do you,
Take a stand.
what do you mean?
That's not a review. That's
Right.
You know what? It's from IGN France. I'm going to keep my mouth closed.
Yeah. So this other one from Metacritic that I had to read to you, because once I read it, you'll know why, is from VG247.
Okay.
And it says, if this wasn't a remake, I firmly believe it would be right at the top of the Game of the Year articles as we assess things over a bit of Christmas pudding. The PS5 had some brilliant games already this year, no doubt, but as a fan of The Last of Us Part 1 is my favorite exclusive on the console. If you dislike Naughty Dog games, nothing here is going to change your views, but existing doggers, yes, I'm using it, will lap this up and appreciate the work that has gone into it.
This is, yeah. Okay. Okay.
So that's what's happening on Metacritic.
Yeah. But this is the thing, right? There is people that sat down and they did work on it, right?
Yeah, sure.
But
they worked on it, and in my opinion, made it worse in places. But, they did work on it. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, there was a post of some screenshots side by side. And the areas are so much harder to figure out where you're supposed to go now if you don't know what you're doing. And the fact that reviews just gloss over it just goes to remind you how many of these will have played this game twice already and know where to go and don't see the problem with it. But if you look at it from an example of, hey, if somebody never played this before, the original game has very clear different colors for stuff, and this new version has everything up-res to be foggy and gray, and it's like a Call of Duty problem from back in the day of which building do I go through? They're all the same color.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one should ever use the term doggers ever again. I agree. All right,
Argument.
so the Daily Star starts us off on Open Critic. And I'm sure you're hoping these are going to be great blurbs. But if you really want to see what the PS5 is capable of when pushed, this is your game. And if you're new to the series, this must be your next purchase.
I hate both those statements.
Mm-hmm.
That's not. No, look, nobody wants to see their console. Cares what the console does when it's pushed. They want to be game.
Yeah, that's all I care about. If I wanted good graphics, I'd go watch a 3D movie. Haha.
Yeah. I mean, there's a place for them. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I don't blame you one bit. Checkpoint Gaming has maybe the weirdest and also like kind of interesting review so far. The Last of Us Part 1 finds a way to make an already incredible game even better. It may not be the most needed remake in the landscape of gaming, and I can't fault anyone for not wanting to pay full price for the experience, but it's undeniable just how much work has gone into this release. Phenomenal graphics, superb sound design, immersive DualSense controller features, beneficial gameplay tweaks, and the best suite of accessibility features found in gaming. Last of Us Part 1 is a must-play title for anyone still yet to experience Joel and Ellie's story. And I have my problems with that blurb, but what I like about it is that they say, hey, if you haven't played this game yet, this is the version of it you should get. Also, it costs more money.
Yeah. Sorry, I kind of almost missed it because I was surprised you were supposed to tip.
Right.
I mean, at least there was some digging into that.
Yeah, here's the things it has that the other one don't. It has the DualSense controller features. It has better sound design. It has accessibility features. It made it easier for you to get stuff from Ellie or whoever's your companion, because now your companion still doesn't get seen, but now actually tries to hide, and it makes it a little bit more ludonarratively satisfying.
Yeah, I still feel like that comment was kind of just, being a fan kind of stuff, but I feel like it was a fan with a little bit of sense. It was like, hey, I need to let people know something.
Yeah. Personally,
sometimes.
No, I don't think it's that big of a thing, but if I'm looking at a list of reviews going, what is new to this version, I definitely would mention it.
Yeah. And for some people, with the lights off, playing in the dark, it makes a really good jump scare.
I got two more for you.
Okay.
This one's from Kakucho Prey, who says, my verdict is this. If you've ever played the original Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2, there's not much of a reason to immediately grab the Last of Us Part 1. Naughty Dog should have put more effort and resources into updating the gameplay mechanics to be more similar to Last of Us Part 2. Improved visuals alone don't really justify the price tag of RM299 if the rest of the experience is mostly the same. Talking about using rubles. That being said, The Last of Us Part 1 is definitely perfect for those who've never played the original game. So, it's a pretty solid blurb, I think.
Yeah. Doesn't sound too bad.
And now, for the final review, I give you the other part of the internet.
I was going to say, why do you say it like that?
With a hefty price tag and less content than its more than acceptable PS4 counterpart, The Last of Us Part 1 is an entirely unnecessary remake with gorgeous graphics that only make its dated gameplay stick out even more. This tells me this person never liked Last of Us to begin with.
I mean, it's not... Yeah, same here.
So it does have less content. It does. It's not even possible to deny because it doesn't have the multiplayer game, the multiplayer mode. Now, granted, those servers are offline. They could have brought them back online for this release, but they didn't because they're making a multiplayer game and they want to put that multiplayer in there, but it does not have that mode. So it
Oh.
is technically less content, but not by much. And don't get me wrong, I liked that multiplayer. That multiplayer was fun, but other
No
than
longer
that,
than
it's
that.
the same game.
Yeah. Well, so I'm afraid the recommended scores, I think it's going to be inflated. I'm going to put it at 86.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 86. What I think they're going to do that.
What do you think, chat? 69.
69.
I remember
Dig.
OpenCritic can't be
90.
review bombed by people or review buffed by people. So there is that to go for it.
Ad time again.
Again.
Let's see. Let's see.
The score is ad break. The score is 89.
Okay.
Was right there
Well,
again.
Yeah. Very close.
I wanted to read this review afterwards because I think it's a nice idea for a review, but I don't think it actually tells you anything.
Okay.
And it's from Stevivor, this is like an old PC game that gets an HD texture pack by a modder. That's already happened officially from Sony on PS4, and it's happening again now, and you're paying a premium for it each and every time.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. But it also
well-
didn't tell you anything about the game, so I felt like it didn't really fit
Yeah.
until after scores were given.
Well, that is a big argument for on remakes. You
Yeah.
know, there's games I'd love to be remade, love to see them. Because today's
goddess.
let's get on the ice cream.
Ice cream for the ice cream goddess?
The I don't know. That's a whole argument against remakes, though, right?
Yeah.
Is do they need it? Do you need to spend this much money? Do you need to use this many resources to get that?
Right.
But this is a real short turnaround on nostalgia grab, though.
Yeah, it's very short because the other version was playable up until this came out.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It makes me think about like when they announced originally, not when it came out, but when they announced originally they were working on a Demon Souls remake.
Yeah.
And you had like Demon Souls had come out on PS3 not even like 6 years before, and they announced they were making one for PS4. That never happened, right? It came out on PS5. But if it had come out on PS4 and then come out on PS5, it would have been like, that's a little close. Except this game came out on PS4, PS3, PS4, and PS5 all in a rush, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I realize there's a lots of money in games. There's going to be cash grabs.
Yeah.
And push back to October.
I did not hear
maybe.
about that. That's good news for
Okay.
everybody that wanted to play those online.
That's what we so that's from the story that we talked about.
Yeah,
We
where it
talked
was going to
about
be
that.
September 1st. Now it's October 1st. That's good.
That's really good.
They
Thank
could
you.
just not take it offline at all, but you know, they won't do that.
Like, people started hollering.
Right. So that's Last of Us Part 1. It's, man, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no reason to pick this up.
Okay.
I
Fair.
have the PS3 version. It plays on my PS3. I have the PS4 version. It plays on my PS3. Or my PS4. It doesn't play on my PS3. And I have no great desire to play it again anytime soon because that world's been a little bit tainted for me by Neil Druckmann and the nonsense that he has been on. And for everybody who's like, oh, Trey's just a hater. He hates Neil Druckmann. Like, Neil Druckmann, like, man, that guy's opinion of himself is way too high. And he shows it on Twitter all the time. And he made a great game. Don't get me wrong. But, man, I don't know. I have no great desire. The second game kind of killed my desire to play the first game again. So, I'm fine. I don't need this.
Yeah.
That's where I
Well-
sit for everybody.
If it gets bought up here in a couple of years, we'll probably get another one.
Yeah, probably.
You know, and if it doesn't, then it'll be the fans' fault.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want it. It's better than Abby than Neil. See?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Verified
Look,
all night.
all I'm saying is when you're liking fan art that has you as the director of the game kissing one of your main characters in the game, when you're responding to people with gifts that you had your workers make while you were crunching them,
Yeah.
that were versions of memes with your characters in them, and you had your workers do that, you made them do that instead of letting them go home.
It's good to be the king.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Like I don't have a lot of patience for you, you know? Yeah, no, that's part of. I wasn't gonna get into that for people that haven't played the game, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Neil Druckmann, the Neil Druckmann Power Hour, where we bash on Neil Druckmann for an hour. Can we just add Randy Pitchford to it too? Let's just go ahead. Let's move to announcements.
All right.
Assassin's Creed had announced a new game.
Yes, they did. I like the name of it.
Yeah.
I think the name's going to be true. It's a Mirage that they're going to make it good again.
It's very true. Yeah, if his self-insert wasn't there, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So, a couple things right away. We don't have a lot of information about this game yet, right? But what we do know is it's going back to Assassins.
Okay.
It's going back to its roots. And it's supposed to have everything focused on playing like the original again. Yeah, it's a weird place to be right now with Ubisoft, right? I hate everything they're doing, but I would love to have an old school Assassin's Creed again.
Yeah. And that's a very fair point. Man, they've had just gameplay wise, strictly about the game. They've had some fumbles with this.
Yeah.
This title. So
For
if it
sure.
does, if it is, it comes. Yeah, if it is, and it comes back to what the original story felt like, that feeling.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yes, that's the one that comes to mind. As far as just the game goes, that like they dropped the ball on. That was that. I think a game still gets trashed on.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's the game where a bunch of people tried to return it after Christmas because it launched a broken, buggy mess where characters were loading in without their heads and their eyes were floating above their bodies, and children were terrified.
Yeah. With the name. Yeah. That would make sense.
Mirage, if it's focused on BSM, we have yet to hear on that. We just know that it's going back to the basic.
Yeah.
Some people. Go ahead.
I like the idea of it. I love the idea of it and all the different places of time and the secret societies and all of that. And influencing and doing things. But I don't. Some games may not need to be multiplayer.
It still exists. Oh boy. One thing people are a little upset about is for some reason, and I don't know why, people were convinced the next one was taking place in ancient Japan, and they're very mad that didn't happen. And all I'll say is, if you want an Assassin's Creed game in ancient Japan, let's go play Ghost of Tsushima, because that's what that game is.
Yeah. And now I'm kind of curious because that's not. I wonder the people that want that. I mean, it'd be cool, I guess, but when are you gonna set that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And also, why do you want that?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about ancient Japan that you want? Is it because it's ancient Japan, or is it because you have a time period you want? Because I feel like it's one of those two things, and not the one that makes it where I'm excited, and instead it's the one that makes it slightly, maybe more than slightly, depending on the person, but vaguely Orientalist, like racism style. Uh,
Well, see, that's what I was asking because you got this Sengoku Jidai period, and then
yeah,
later on you got the Endo period, and you'd
right.
still be dealing with samurai. They look a lot
Oh, you
different.
could
I'm
make
just
such a cool Assassin's Creed in the Edo period, where you have like the sword law, where you're not allowed to carry them, and so you have to hide it. And,
yeah, and there would be I'm kind of curious
yeah,
because that's not where because you also have you don't need assassins in Japan
right,
because if depending on the time period you're picking, they have assassins
right. Yeah, they're
and
doing fine on
they're
that.
they're not aligned with world domination.
Samurai
They're
and ninja, yo. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing. Hopefully,
absolutely.
Tsushima comes out on Game Pass soon. I know there's been a lot of talks about bringing it to PC, so hopefully they
Mm.
port it from there straight to Xbox.
Uh,
But yeah, that's all we. I'm sorry, that's all we really know so far. So
all right.
next up, we have Garfaiai is revealed.
Yes, yes. And in honor, I have a couple of good ones.
Bro. Tokugawa's, yeah,
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 yeah. That's what I'm wondering. See that kind of answer goes. If you tell me that, right, and then you give me that description,
yeah. I'm with you.
like,
Let's go.
okay,
I want that game.
that, yeah, all right. I know where you're going, where you're going to sit in. I think it'd be cool. If you're just like, I don't know.
The fallout of the death
It's
of Tokugawa Ieyasu and Date Masamune's uprising and everything there. Heck yeah.
yeah, yeah. You get to watch, but since Pokemon put out a creature based on an II,
Yeah.
I got some facts. I got facts about IIs as they've come up
Hit me.
now in chat, in conversation. All right,
Hit me.
all right. The one, IIs, they sleep in treetop nests that they construct. They
Okay.
build their own nests. They're kind of ball-like nests. That's where they sleep. They are a solitary animal. They do have overlapping territories.
Okay.
Usually, one female will have a slightly smaller territory, but her territory will overlap with multiple male territories. They have
Gotcha.
unusual fingers and toes. They have claws on their fingers and toes, except for their opposable big toes. They use to hang upside down.
Okay.
Their feeding method is called percussive foraging, and they have that one long finger that was talked about the other night. And get
Yeah.
in there and grab grubs out of the tree. They're found in Madagascar only, and they kind of think that the etymology of them is they kind of take the place of woodpeckers in
Oh, okay.
Madagascar. Yes, they have large, sensitive ears. A bunch of complex ridging in them. I don't know if eyes have ridges. They have the teeth of a rodent.
That's weird.
Yeah, I already brought this up. Eyes are the Madagascar's answer to the woodpecker. And eyes communicate with a number of vocalizations. They do have a bad reputation. For the people of Madagascar, some people in the native Madagascar, they think it's an ill omen. And if one points the middle finger at you, here, if you get the middle finger, you're maybe in for a fight. That's a death warning. You are marked for death. Yeah. So they are critically endangered, though. And there used to be giant eyes. And I'm just going to let that say, if you don't know what an eye is, you should pull one up real quick. Yes, it's a lemur. That is a lemur. And this is one thing I love about nature. Because lemurs are in Madagascar, and they're easy. They were easy for biologists and stuff to identify. That's a ringtail lemur. That's that. And then they run across the eye.
Right.
That is just looks like a mutant lemur. But that is what they've based the new Pokemon
I'm
off
good one,
of.
Will. Yeah, I pulled up a
Good
picture of
night.
Garfaiai while you were talking, and it's a strange design, but I think based on everything you said, it makes a lot of sense.
All right. Good. because there's not a lot of things that make sense anymore.
The internet has taken to him pretty quickly. Some people saying, "I love this little freak." So just expect there to be a lot of Garfaiai art.
Yeah,
this
I'm
game
sure.
comes
Oh, I'm
out.
sure. With a bat, yes. That's a it looks like a lemur with a bat face.
Mm-hmm.
They're also the only nocturnal primate.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's why they have the big eyes.
makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I think they did good design. I think it's cool. I'm glad they've got a new Pokemon out. People are excited about it.
Yeah. We're supposed to be getting a trailer tomorrow. They didn't say how long it's going to be, but I assume Garfaiai is going to take a good amount of time in that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool design. I like it.
You know what? We may be able to find a myth or legend. That's why they have big eyes in the back.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. Well, next up we have our games for the month. We have PS Plus / Game Pass / Humble choice, and we cover these every time. It's the start of a month, which means all three of them dropped all at once. We'll start with the PS Plus games. You're getting NFS Heat, which is a racing game, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, fighting game, and Tome, which is a indie game. NFS Heat and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus will be good for PS4 and PS5. Tome is just for PS5.
All right.
Not bad choices, right?
Yeah.
I will say when we look at the fact that it's just 3 for PS Plus versus the number that we get with the other 2 deals, I think the other 2 deals are still better, but
Well, I actually expected more because I've been seeing like the PS Plus has been like I've been seeing the commercials how great it is. But that's not a lot.
If you have the second version, the second subscription, where you get the deluxe version, where you get all the games that are in that backlog, you get a bunch of games. But
Fair enough. All right. Yeah.
Game Pass is bringing a good set of games, I think. Dreamlight Valley, which is the Disney game. You're getting the Founder Edition. I wish I could tell you what this game is, but the blurb they give you is just, hey, it's a hybrid between a life sim and an adventure game, rich with quests, exploration, and engaging activities featuring Disney and Pixar friends.
Yes. So you can go talk to the princesses.
Right.
And your Sims.
Pretty much. They're also getting, where is it here? Opus Magnum, which is a puzzle game from Zachtronics, which is pretty cool. Travel Sim World 3, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
Ashes of the Singularity Escalation, which is a RTS. The DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace.
All right.
So, You Suck at Parking, which is a game about parking.
A game that's just a statement. He's letting everybody know.
It's a game about physics parking.
All right.
Drive, drift, jump, and teleport through tricky courses.
Okay.
Despot's Game is a roguelike tactics army battler.
All right.
Metal Hellsinger is a rhythm FPS.
I bet it's not cool. Metal, really.
Probably not.
Okay.
And then finally, you're also getting, through EA Play, Grid Legends. Which is a racing game.
Yeah, that's just the upgraded version of Grid, right?
Yeah.
It's not another game. Okay.
Right. And then leaving on the 15th, because we have to cover those 2, Metal Hellsinger has metal music that plays during the game. Oh, maybe it is then.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Leaving on the 15th is A Plague Tale Innocence, which is a shame because the sequel is on there. And so you have till the 15th. The sequel's coming out on there. So you have until the 15th to play the first one.
That's rough.
Origami 2. Bug Fables, The Everlasting Sapling, which is unfortunate that it's leaving. Craftopia, Final Fantasy 13. It's your chance to play that if you don't want to pay for it. I mean, I guess you are paying for it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't be smart with me, son. Go to your room. Flynn, Son of Crimson. I want to clarify that was not aimed at Rugrid. He knows that. It was aimed at you in the chat that was about to get smart with me. I Am Fish. Lost Words Beyond the Page. Mighty Goose. Skatebird and The Artful Escape will all be leaving on the 15th.
It's got to drop.
It
Quite
is
a few
a pretty-
games going off.
It is a pretty big drop. I didn't mean you specifically, Dark. I just mean the person in the chat that was about to. They were going to. I could feel it in my soul. And then for Humble, yeah, it's unfortunate. They're losing a lot of good stuff there. For Humble, we have Crusader Kings 3. It's a great grab.
All right.
Big RTX by Paradox. Just Cause 4 Complete Edition. If you go to your room, you go to sleep. That's fair. Just Cause 4 is Just Cause. There's no better way to describe that other than hey, you got a grappling hook and you can blow things up. Go.
Oh.
What
more do you need?
The Dungeon of Nihilibuk, The Amulet of Chaos, which is an RPG. Okay. That's a name, man. Forgive Me, Father, which is an action, FPS style action game with some Cthulhu elements.
Okay.
I'll be playing that one for sure. Clown Trick, which is an RPG. Looks pretty cool. Descenders, which is a racing sim on bikes, motocross style.
All right.
Industria, which is a FPS indie game set in a very interesting world where you fight robots. And then we have Shapes, is a puzzle game, and you also get a DLC through it.
Okay. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Well, yes. I'm glad you have a reason.
Those games are huge.
Glad you have a reason.
Those games are huge. You talk about open world bloat, those games have that. And I think the way they balance it out is that they really don't expect you to do everything. But they've never met myself and Dark, apparently, because
I want everything.
Yeah. I need all the upgrades.
Yeah, I'm not, don't think I'm as bad as you two, but I have played the game before because there was one question. It's like, you can go this path or this path.
Yeah.
And so, now I got to go back and play it again.
Right. Play any more of them because 3 ruined your mood. Look, I'm the guy that when they said, hey, Ezio, there's all these feathers all around the city, and when you get them, they don't give you any tangible upgrade, but they make your mom feel better. I went, okay, I'm going to go gather all those feathers now, thanks. And I did. I gathered every single one of them. And you get a different cloak. That's all you get for it. But your mom's happy. So, win-win.
Well.
All it took me was my soul. But yeah, that's where PS Plus Game Pass and Humble Choice are at right now.
All right. One more announcement.
Yeah. Finally, we have a release date for Gundam Evolution, and we also have like some info on it that kind of was surprising to me. Because they kind of just dropped a bunch of stuff. The PC launch will be on September 22nd, which is right around the corner.
Yeah.
And the console launch
today?
Was that? Yeah, it's the 6th today.
6 today, yeah.
The console launch will be on December 1st.
So late.
Yeah. However, they're adding the Zaku 2 melee loadout. It comes with a large Heat Hawk and a maneuver skill with the Heat Hawk as well. It's got the commander horn. That's cool. Yeah, it's a really weird gap. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm assuming it's to do with licensing or with shipping. The Mahiro, which I think a lot of people probably don't even remember, that has the Rendo grenades, and the Unicorn Gundam, which has the Beam Gatling gun and gets the Beam Magnum as a remover skill. Those are all coming in Season 1.
Okay.
And then they're also adding 4 new maps: the Wilderness Mining Field, Harbor City, the Guyana Highlands, and the Security Terminal. Super expensive gunplay Gundam, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
I have to have that
also
one.
adding custom animations that play when selecting a mobile suit in the character select screen, and custom portraits. And the examples they show off here are, like, you can select the anime version of the portraits that makes them look like they were animated in the style of the show, which is really cool.
Right.
I might have to play a bunch of this game just to get the animated Turn A one. But there will also be a deluxe edition that will come with some skins, and will also come with the Unicorn Gundam when it gets added during Season 1 instead of having to buy it with in-game currency. So you'll get the Unicorn, the Mahiro, the Exia, the Marasai, and the Zaku 2. And then you'll also get 4 unit skins, 4 weapon skins, and 1 ornament.
Okay.
As a reminder, this game's free to play.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, maybe it'll take off. Maybe it'll take off. I don't know. I think the free to play models are, and like I've been playing a free to play model for game forever, for many years. I think I do think that's. It feels like they're just trying to keep them alive. They're
Yeah,
trying to
it
find
does.
a way to do that to keep it going and make money.
It does.
But
I'll give it a shot. I enjoyed what I played of it, even though I stand by my biggest criticism, which I've seen a lot of people share since, is there's no weight to anything. So
Yeah.
the Gundams don't feel like they have weight, which is unfortunate. But they still look like them. They just don't feel like them. So I'll play a little bit of it when it first comes out. We'll see how much I play after that, but we'll see.
I just thought it's just all animated sprites
Yeah.
to the screen. It doesn't,
Look, I would pay
Yeah.
to just get to see like animated versions of these suits fight each other in an animated style. Like, it doesn't have to be quite as Borderlands, but like the way the Naruto games did it, give me that. I'm there. Naruto Ninja Storm style Gundam games, I'm there.
Such an easy sell.
Now, talking about easy sells. Oh boy.
Dude.
343 has lost their mind. Halo Infinite released their new roadmap.
Yeah.
This is proper Gundam looks, yeah. I would prefer
No,
sprites,
no,
I think. So they released the new roadmap, and it's going to have a beta for Forge mode, which still isn't in the game all this time after release. It's going to come with free 30-tier battle passes, the new maps, Detachment and Argyle, and also we're dropping the co-op. Sorry about that. It's not being added to the game for a campaign now. But hey, next year we're gonna get some new weapons added, and big team battles gonna get added to the game because that's still not in the game, and they're gonna have a new 100-tier battle pass. Wait, hold on. Did you say you're dropping co-op for the campaign? Well, I mean, yeah, but no, it's fine because we're adding a 100-tier battle pass next year.
Yeah. But I realize it's not their biggest players. They're not the people that just want to sit at home with their family, play this, or with a friend and go through this, go through this story, experience it together. And I understand that, they're going to have, big melee battles and all that.
Yeah.
But it still feels as, I don't know.
Online co-op is still coming, though if it comes when they say it'll come, who knows. But local co-op is completely gone.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, they'll be like, well, this is not a big deal because I don't have people come over and play anyway. But one thing you have to remember is they promised when they made this game, because it's their new studio, their attempt to make a big full Halo game, they promised that it would be a return to form. It would have all the features the old Halos had. And not only have they dropped the local co-op, they've put off the online co-op, and we're this far into the game where multiplayer's been available, and we have no Forge, and we still don't have half the game types that were in most of the games at launch.
It seems like this was rushed to announce.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. People been waiting.
Yep. And it just, I don't understand how we're this far in, and they went, hey, they went, hey, we should probably implement big team battle. And I'm not going to sit here and armchair developer you and say, hey, it'd be the easiest thing in the world to add big team battle. But I am going to say, big team battle is just the big team maps they already have with more people on them and with more vehicles, more weapons around the map. You give me Forge mode and like 40 minutes tops, and I've added more spawn points, I've added more vehicles, and you ask me, how do you know that? Because I've done it on Halo 3.
I'm gonna add. Yeah.
Oh,
I know. Yeah. This one's a mess.
yeah.
There's some games that are going to be better and worse, but you don't mess them up. You
Yeah.
don't mess up Halo. Don't mess up God of War.
Right.
I mean, it's really.
I was saying that big team battle just needs more people, more weapons, and more vehicles, and that I could do that in 40 minutes in Forge mode if they give it to me. And then just put it online. And people say, well, how do you know it's going to be balanced? I don't know, man. I'll figure it out. If it's not balanced the first run, I'll go back and do it again. It shouldn't take 6 months to get big team battle added to the game. Why is big team battle coming in March or June of next year?
I don't know. I think somewhere that they've lost the plot somewhere. Yeah. It should be a basic. It should look pretty, should look good, but it should be very it should be a basic Halo. It's Halo.
Yeah,
it's like if you're bringing out GoldenEye again. There's one thing that GoldenEye does. That's all you want it to do.
Yeah,
it's really kind of it's an unfortunate mess, but this is what happens to the game. I mean, gaming business is huge.
Yeah, I agree.
Huge, billions a year.
Also, I got to call this roadmap out for one more thing real quick, which is that they're saying by March 7th, they will have the Forge beta instituted in the game. And then by June 27th, they will also have rolled out beta updates to fix the Forge mode. Any problems it has. But they don't even know if it's going to have problems or not because they don't have it done.
Yep.
I don't get it. What do you mean? Well, we foresee that there's probably going to be issues. Yeah, that's fine. You can say bug fixes and updates. But when you specifically say Forge beta updates, as in, well, yeah, we're gonna fix the stuff that breaks in the Forge beta. Or are you gonna piecemeal the Forge beta too and only give bits of it at a time and then add more later? Like
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. This would be a very impressive fix. If in 2 years we're talking about, hey, man, I know it took them so long, but it actually came through. I'd be surprised. Yes.
I just noticed something on this roadmap.
Okay.
By June 27th, in-game reporting will be added to the game. You mean there is currently no way to report players in your online game?
I guess not.
In your game that has online voice lobbies, there is no way to report players? Is there a way to block them?
Well,
Or do I just have to leave and hope I don't wind up with them again?
oh, apparently
No,
no.
there's not. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. And say, I mean, I shouldn't have
And then,
somebody
yeah,
who's
that's
supposed
right.
to be
If
a
you
Halo
leave, you
game.
can get in trouble. I forgot about that.
Oh man. Oh, ugly. It's just a mess.
Okay, let's move on from that dumpster
Yeah.
fire. Uh, let's talk about another one. Ninja Rage Quit.
Hey. Does that mean we step up one?
Yeah, everybody
All right,
steps
we
up
move up.
one.
We'll move up one in line.
So like, and for
Yeah,
people who are
well
like,
done.
well, Ninja's rage quit before. I don't mean he rage quit the stream and came back later. I mean, he rage quit streaming. He like, how do I word this the way that will make the most sense? He basically nuked his Twitter.
That's a. So is delete gone?
Right.
That's
He is now user not found. He deleted his profile picture. And if you pull up his Twitch channel, you'll still find like the archive, right?
I bet.
From where
I
he was
bet.
last live 5 days ago. But there's been nothing since then. Nothing at all. It's just silence.
Hope it's been worth it, man. Hope it's been worth it.
And when I tell you why this happened, I don't know if you're going to laugh or if you're just going to shake your head.
Okay.
But in Fortnite, so I thought it was a publicity stunt as well at first. However, he hasn't streamed in 5 days. He's lost hundreds of thousands of followers. It's real bad for his brand if he doesn't stream soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why I feel like this is not a publicity stunt. His sales for his merch have gone down because people don't know if he's coming back or not. It's like he is losing money every day he doesn't stream, and it's been 5 days. But he was playing Fortnite, and somebody used an item called a portal to go on him. Which is basically where in the middle of a firefight, they portal back up to the sky and can land back in. And he was streaming with another guy that he said he'd be streaming all day long, and this person used this portal to go on him, and he said, I quit, I'm done, I quit. I'm sorry, man, I quit. And just leaves the game, and then turns to his chat and says, I don't know when I'm going to come back, I'm done right now. And then just leaves, ends the stream.
Somebody used something on me in a multiplayer arena. I don't like it.
Right. So, my guess is, as Darkus said, this is, hey, I'm going to be gone for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And then I'll just come back. But there's another point to this, which is that over the last couple of years, you could say, Ninja's popularity has dropped drastically.
Yeah.
He was on top of the world for a little while there, and not to be rude, the reason he was on top of the world is because he has an active personality and he's good at the game. As time has passed, he has not been as good at the game as others. And when your thing is you're the best, and you're not the best anymore, it's a lot of tension. Look, I'm going to be the first one to say, I don't like Ninja. But that's a lot of tension to put on something. It's a lot of pressure, you know?
All right. Now you might be talking to me. I don't know. Hold on.
And, like, I firmly believe he buckled under that pressure, that it finally got to too much, and he just rage quit. He just gave up. I think if he's come back and it's going to be over a month from now.
Well, the 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 thing is, that's the natural evolution of gaming.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
people are going to get better.
Mhm.
That's why we keep up with. That's why there's
Please don't call
uh
35
you
old.
know speed run
Oh.
speed runs and stuff that we keep up with. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
natural evolution. That would be something that would almost you're not going to stay number one.
right.
No way. Not with the
And
amount of people out there grinding out.
you have two options at that point, right? You either accept that you're not going to stay number one and be glad that you were number one, or you get mad, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the real thing for me to talk about here is not that he rage quit. Or not that he quit, but it's that he rage quit. Like this
Yeah.
is a guy that's supposed to be like the best for a long time, and he goes, man, and just leaves the lobby, leaves it all, walks away. Like
Man.
this. Look, I'm gonna get a little petty for a second here, but this is the guy that says that this is the guy that says people that play sports aren't real athletes. That the people that play esports are the real athletes, and then he rage quits in the middle of a game.
Hey, he's the Antonio Brown of
Right.
esports.
This is the guy that says that when he gets done with a Fortnite match, he's sweating way more than anybody that's ever played football. And then he rage quits in the middle of a match? It's like, come on, man. You don't get to just say stuff like that and then do that. And I get that you're under a lot of pressure. I do. I understand that. Trust me. I work on YouTube too. I make content too. There's a lot of pressure, and I'm not even close to number one. But, man, come on now.
But turn it off for a while.
Yeah.
Take a couple breaths.
Yeah. But it's the fact that he didn't come back that has a lot of people talking like, hey, it's been 5 days. What?
It might be time.
Yeah. And for the internet, 5 days is a very long time.
Mm.
5 days is an eternity. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But just,
Yeah.
different game within a month.
All
It's
right.
possible. He's tried to go to different games before, and he's always come back to Fortnite, but
Yeah.
we shall see.
Yeah.
This next thing is just a rumor, but I wanted to talk about it. And that is the new Bleach anime might not be simulcast. So Disney purchased and surprised everybody, I think, when they purchased the rights for the distribution of the new Bleach anime. Yeah, it's a continuation of Bleach, which is people have been waiting for a very long time because the anime never actually reached the end of Bleach for the manga. And Disney Plus is where it's going to be. Because that's where we all want to watch our Bleach is on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the question now is, if it's not going to be simulcast and it's going to be stuck on Disney Plus, is it even going to make it in the West? Because Bleach was like huge over here.
Yeah. I don't think I think it'll be bad.
Yeah. Because it's not going to go to
I
Crunchyroll,
don't-
which is where people are going to expect it to be.
Yeah. And the people who are really prepped and ready for this,
Hmm.
they've got that's where they're looking,
Right.
I mean, I'm sure others will be picked up. I just don't. Disney's not got a very good track record.
Right. And how are they going to release it? Are they going to release it? Because they're not going to simulcast it. So it's going to come out in Japan first, which means most people that care about it are just going to watch the sub version. But are they going to do it where they drop all the episodes at once? Are they going to do it a couple episodes at a time, one episode a week? Are they going to even make a dub? If they make a dub, because it's a different company now doing the distribution, are they going to try and get the old voice actors back? Or are they just going to replace them? Like,
No.
so
But,
it feels like Bleach is dead in the water, but
yeah. They do. This is not. This is not a Disney show.
yeah,
One. I don't know.
Disney's where I go to watch my
it's
anime.
unfortunate. Yeah. All right.
While we're speaking about things that are absolutely insane, let's talk about GameStop.
All right.
I originally wanted to title this GameStop Tries to Pull a Fast One, but I'm not sure if that's actually true, but I'm going to title it that anyway, because I like that title. The moment Disney bought the rights, yeah, they shot it in the face for sure. GameStop
Yeah.
has fixed the ad, right? But GameStop listed Ladybug, yeah. GameStop listed a pre-owned version of Elden Ring on PlayStation 5, the standard version, for $189.99.
You don't know what you got here. Oh man,
And
that's ridiculous.
what? They have since amended it to $49.99.
That
But-
sounds reasonable,
Man,
right?
it had to be a mistake, but I want to believe it was intentional. They actually thought they could get away with it.
Oh, man, we're just gonna see. Just gonna see if somebody will spend that much.
Yeah, if one person buys it at that price, we've bought like 6 copies. We're good. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me specify. It's GameStop, so the amount they give you is almost nothing. We've bought like 20 copies.
Easily.
Yeah, they have set games at $999 before, so it just came out of nowhere, surprised everybody, and some people were going, "Well, this is clickbait to make people talk about GameStop." It's like, no, I think this is an honest mistake. Like,
Yeah, it just makes them look stupid. That's
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I will never forget. I was hard up for money one time, and I brought like normal, and I brought every Xbox 360 game that I had. It was over 50 games in a box, and I was like, "Hey, I got an afternoon. I'm gonna sell all these back to GameStop, get some money, and go pay what I need to pay." And they tried to offer me $6 for 50 games.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
have not done business with them since. That's
Yeah. They GameStop, Game Exchange, places like that. They actually tried to get those shut down.
Yeah.
They like them reselling their games. The big three.
Yeah. I get it too. Make a lot more money off people if they have to buy them full price.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Yes.
Yeah.
And like that's not a rare tale, right?
That's
You
everybody.
take it 50, you take this 70, it's not. We know that yeah. It's awful.
Yeah. They'll give you $20 for a game at most and then turn around and sell it for 50.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, and if they give you $20 for a game, that's a brand new game.
yeah.
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 Yep.
I did one time, and I will proudly tell this story. I went into a GameStop and bought Fire Emblem Path of Radiance for $20 for the GameCube when it was selling online for $400 already because of the limited print, and GameStop just didn't know. And I have that copy on the shelf behind me, behind this green screen.
Well, not all heroes wear capes, sir.
That's true. Oh man, let's talk about some more nonsense. Tencent, everybody's favorite company, has purchased some stock in From Software, and it's not an insignificant amount.
No, not if it made news.
Tencent and Sony together have collectively acquired 30.34% of From Software stock. Now, Tencent has the majority of that 30, but that is so close to being enough to make decisions.
No, they'll have voting rights. If they
Right.
own that stock, they're gonna get voting rights. I
Right.
mean, they don't. get to decide what's voted on.
Mhm.
But,
But if
yeah,
they
you
get
got
just 4% more,
yeah.
and they
We
do.
this seems to be the new way gaming's going is everybody's buying everything up they can.
Yeah.
If it's got something to do with gaming, they're gonna buy it up.
So Katakawa still has 69% of the stock. That's still Katakawa. They own that. But you have Tencent with 16.25 and Sony with 14.9. And Sony and Tencent have worked together many times for games in China. This could just be, hey, we want to be able to more easily get From stuff out in China. But realistically, it's, hey, Elden Ring sold a bunch of money. We want to be able to get the rights to what platforms From Software stuff goes on. Because if for anybody that remembers, Sony is how From Software got their name by paying to make Demon Souls and then Bloodborne. And Dark Souls was the only series that was multiplat. Now Elden Ring's multiplat. It really feels like Sony and Tencent are going, hey, we don't want them to have that money. We want to have all this money.
Yeah.
Instead of going, hey, maybe it made that much money because it was available on everything and it's really good.
Yeah.
So,
And I have a feeling that there will be another purchase from one side, the other, or both.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
So,
I think you're probably right. Because it won't take much to just push up a little more.
yeah.
It's unfortunate because I think that one of the strongest points of From Software's game catalog is that the vast majority of those games are available everywhere, in all countries, and everybody can play them. With the exception, I guess, being Sekiro, which is weirdly restricted in some parts of the world. But other than that, like, everybody from all countries can play Dark Souls and talk to each other about it, you know?
Yeah.
And if it gets reduced like Bloodborne or Demon Souls, then it's, well, just people that own PlayStations can talk about them. And, PlayStations just got a lot more expensive, so,
Mhm.
kind of
We
sucks.
see what you're doing.
Yeah.
We see what you're doing.
Then we got to talk about this one.
Yeah.
Domina has been removed from Steam.
Yes. Because the dev's an idiot.
Because the dev is an idiot.
Yeah.
I'll fully back you up on that one. So you can have whatever political beliefs you want to have. You can have whatever stance you want to have on anything. I'm not your dad. You believe whatever you want to believe, As long as you're not hurting people, I don't really care. Once you start hurting people, then I got a problem. But you can believe the sky is purple if you want to believe that. You go for it. However, when you start touching patch notes and ranting in patch notes about your belief, buddy, you crossed a line. Do you know what patch notes are for? Patch notes are our sacred holy ground when it comes to gamers. That's our chance to see cool new information about a game we love. And when you flood it with your political stance and your thoughts on people, like, that's not where that goes.
No. Yeah. It's such a weird, and if I got the story right, it was really kind of a sneaky way to be crappy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just put it in here then.
Right.
It wasn't.
I can't talk about it on the Steam forums, so I'll put it in my patch notes.
Yeah. And you might have had a great game. You might have sold, might have got some chatter on the game, might have had a good game. But because you chose, well, might not have been a great game, you have to patch it.
Right. Yeah. Heck, man, do it on YouTube where you can drum up hate clicks and get your game's name spread out further. Whatever. But when Steam says, hey, you can't do that in our forums, we don't like that. And then you go, all right, well, I'm going to put it in the patch notes then.
Yeah, that's what I said. We talked about this before. This sounds like such a petty, not like funny petty, like crappy petty.
Yeah.
Move to do, I didn't put did you think nobody would notice?
Right.
Is that why they were there? Or I don't know.
Man, also, like, I'm not going to bring up a bunch of examples because, man, some of it is rough. But, like, to tell people don't let anybody tell you how to live. Be your own person. It's like, okay, that's cool and all. I can kind of agree with that. Probably shouldn't be here in your patch notes. But then you spend a whole paragraph telling me how to live.
Yeah.
No, you misunderstand. It's okay when I tell you because I'm the only one who knows.
Everybody just listen to me. The world will be a better place.
Right. Just, man, all I want to know is how much more damage the Gladiator does now. I don't care about all that stuff. And I think that's the real, like, tragic part about all this is there were people that really liked that game that are now just like, hey, I'll never get an update again. And remember when this game was just about this game? When that's all people knew it from, you know?
Yeah. Not the first idiot. Won't be the last.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It just, again, believe whatever you want to believe, I guess. Just don't hurt people. And then when you start ranting and raving, it's like, as an example, if you have somebody ranting and raving outside of business about their political beliefs, guess what's going to happen if they're on the business's property?
Yeah.
They're going to get removed from that business because they're causing a public disturbance.
Yeah.
That's all that's happened here for people that are like, he's being silenced. Like, no, he can say whatever he wants. He just can't do it here.
Yeah. And I mean, this is not an out of the blue thing. This is not well, we're not sure what you did.
Right.
Or we're not going to tell you exactly what's going on. This is, look, these are the rules that we have for this.
Right.
If you want to take part, here you go.
Right.
And they took that and,
well, not only that.
The sneakiest way to do it, too.
Yeah.
Like the most unhinged way. I'm just going to put it in the patch notes.
When he put his game on Steam, he had to sign paperwork saying that Steam had the rights to remove his game at any time.
Yeah.
So
there's your stance to make a stand.
Yeah.
There's your chance. Don't sign the papers.
Right. Yeah, you have freedom of speech, not a platform. Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say in your house. But if you're on someone else's property, they have the right to stop you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the whole, and see, that's the whole Section 230 and the whole thing that's been going on with YouTube.
Right.
Or your publisher or platform, and they want to argue about that.
Right. I think my favorite thing that's ever been said about freedom of speech is, yes, you have the right to say whatever you want, and I have the right to not listen and to walk away. So, you know. Yeah, the freedom of speech really doesn't matter here because he was not. What's he being protected from? A private company on their private forums?
Right.
Yeah, it just. I don't know, man. Just, again, maybe I'm just weird about this, but patch notes are sacred. They are what they are. Don't try to sneak stuff in there.
Yeah. Like I said, it's underhanded.
Yeah.
It seemed real sick. It was completely unnecessary. Just, hey, man. Hey, ruin your game in 30 seconds or less.
Right. It reminds me a lot of when Extra Credits put out that video about shooters and asked the question, hey, should we be able to play as a Nazi in video games? And instead of asking that question and trying to follow that path, they went, you didn't ask for it. You didn't mean it. But now you're a Nazi because you played as one in your World War II shooter. And it's like, okay, look, why did you sneak this into your video about, what do you mean? No, that's not how this works. What is wrong with you?
Oh, there weren't any Nazis in World War I.
Right.
Second of all.
Yeah. It's that same level of sneakiness of like, if we just put this in here, you won't notice what we're doing. No, we noticed. We did notice, in fact.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not why people are playing games.
That's right. As it turns out, I'm not playing games to hear your political agendas. That's not what I'm here for. I play video games to escape from all of that.
All right.
Speaking of escaping, Guild Wars 2 has announced another Living World Season 1 coming back. Episode coming back. And that is the Tower of Nightmares. I don't know what that is, but I want to.
Maybe you will soon.
It's coming next week. It'll be free for everyone, of course. And unlike other Living World seasons, the way I think I've mentioned this before, the way Freedom I've read chat while I was trying to talk. The way that Living World seasons work is if you're playing them at the time they're released, you get them for free. And if not, you have to pay for them later. But because they're redoing the season 1, it's just free for everybody permanently.
That's cool.
This will be episode 4, I believe, of 6. So very cool. Excited for that.
Very good.
And it's coming with a new instance group encounter called the Tower of Nightmares as well. So stoked for that.
Free
I want
stuff.
to see a Tower of Nightmares.
What for insanity?
But let's throw it over now to Rundgren's Corner.
All right. Well, we started off with birthday, and it's happy birthday, Idris Elba. I'm sure he's watching.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I'm sure I'm like 90% straight, but just saying that name makes my nipples firm. Idris Elba. They
Great actor.
He is, and it's his birthday. Well, I didn't even look. Does that make him a Sagittarius? I think, is that right? Let's double check. I didn't even think about that. What did it do out? All right.
I never keep up with it.
We've been keeping up in the uprising around the world, from rabbits to things like that. And if you remember before, we talked about the ants taking over electronics and trying to get robots. This is all real, by the way. So I think they may be one step closer, because in San Francisco, a self-driving car sped away from the cops. So the cops pulled the car over, and it pulled over and stopped. It was a Chevrolet Bolt.
Oh, there's your problem right there. It's a Bolt. Of course it was going to bolt.
Right. It's operated by General Motors. Of General Motors own Cruise. That's who the self-driving goes through.
Right.
Now, it did stop at first. And then when a police officer got out and came to look and was very confused because there's nobody driving it, as he turned to walk back to the car to say something to his partner, it took off.
Of course. Yeah.
So they chased it again. They chased it down again. The whole incident is on Instagram.
Oh, of course
there's
it is.
a video
Yeah.
of it, if you want to see it. Yeah. There's the explanation given by Cruise, by the company that's running this, was that it was going to a safer place to pull over.
Oh.
Yeah. Which, fact check, if you're poor, that excuse does not work.
Right.
All right.
Just so you know.
Yes. But right now, they're saying that, hey, it worked as it was intended. I'm pretty sure that's not how you...
No.
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 Yeah, it worked as intended. And so there's no... They're trying to get on top of it right now.
Yeah.
And the thing about this, what got me is a few weeks ago, I don't think the videos were ever verified as this was actually nothing was messed with, but it had the Tesla self-driving car running over little mannequins.
Yeah.
Too long ago.
I remember that. I do. And Tesla specifically said if those mannequins had been made out of flesh instead of padding, that the car would have known. And so a guy on YouTube did a test with a mannequin made out of that gel substance with a layer of hide put over the top of it. and the car still hit it.
Look, if they've got mannequins made out of flesh out there, well, I think we have other discussions to have. I'm not sure if
Also, I don't think those cars are using like heat sensitive stuff. It's not. What do you mean?
Well, what I'm wondering is because Tesla uses LiDAR
Right.
instead of radar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, LiDAR is really cool in the Amazon and places they found using LiDAR because of the images they get. But I don't know how well it works in a car.
Right.
Either
Apparently
way,
not
there's
that well.
there's not enough information to find out if this was the ants yet or not, or if this was just the car.
Yeah.
Deciding on its own. It's almost time, people.
Yeah.
Almost time.
Hey, I mean,
Ethan Eve
Yeah.
Online.
yeah, that's right.
It's actually, oh yes.
Do you remember last year there was that video of that guy that was trying to call his car to come pick him up at an airport, and the car, because it had Find My Owner, you know, it would drive to you, it would drive itself to you, and it drove out onto the runway instead and hit a plane and exploded.
See,
Plane was fine.
if that was in Hawaii, rabbits would have been driving that car.
Yeah. To clarify, no one was injured, and the plane was fine, but the car was in bad shape.
Didn't go well head to head with the airplane, huh?
No. Turns out that plane was a lot tougher.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But that's what as normal. I want to warn everybody, warn our viewers, let them know of the what's going on around the world, the important news. You know.
For sure.
No.
Well,
what I got.
Let's segue into plugs. By saying we're going to segue into plugs. What plugs you got, Rungert?
I'm still putting music out every Sunday. I want to thank everybody watching. I really do. I really love y'all. Y'all are, every one of y'all is different, so individual, got different views on different things, but always good comments.
Yeah.
And man, it cheers me up.
Awesome.
Always cheer me up. Thank you for that.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm putting out. But now my music and our chat.
Very nice. I'm going to plug a kind of interesting channel in getting a lot of B-roll footage and just trying to grind out legendaries. I have been watching a lot of what's the right phrase? Interesting YouTube. And so I found myself down the rabbit hole of a guy named Sensei Seth trying out a bunch of the lesser well-regarded martial arts.
Okay.
The stuff that is made fun of very often, you know, actually trying it, like Aikido or Wing Chun, and actually like giving it a shot. And what's really interesting to me about those videos is not as much the art itself, but it's getting to hear a martial artist talk about how, hey, we all rag on it because of this, but this thing that they do is actually kind of cool. And it affirms my belief that Bruce Lee was right, and you should 100% just steal everything you want from anything you meet, style-wise, and incorporate it. All the best stuff, take it.
Yeah.
So, you know. And that's not to say I'm saying Jeet Kune Do is the best either, because I think the version of Jeet Kune Do that we have today is not the version that Bruce Lee was aiming for. It's the version that he was able to teach before he died. Because I think like the version he wanted still had a lot farther to go. But, you know.
Yeah.
It's a cool series of videos, so we're checking out. I think.
I'll have to tell you sometime about the theory that it's Bruce Lee was the original MMA fighter.
Yeah, I could see that because that's kind of what he did.
Because that's what it's gonna. That's what it's come to.
Yeah,
you gotta do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So definitely interesting to check out, I think. But Also,
Right
I think the
on.
guy's kind of funny, So.
Good deal. Good deal, sir.
Well, as usual, we got videos coming out. That Tim video comes out tomorrow, and then we'll have Thursday, the DD podcast. We'll be talking some more monsters. And then Friday, we'll be trying to finish that Barbados. And then Monday, we'll be doing some more chicken runs.
Yes, we will.
So,
Yes, we will.
Please look forward to all that.
And I'll try to go the right way this time.
And until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
And we've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum of life.